Hello traders, welcome to another week of trading and welcome to the Wednesday trade recap and forecast. Euro and the US dollar, that's what we're starting with. So there was a flag opportunity to enter right here, which I of course didn't take because on Mondays I'm a lot more patient and I'm only starting to trade at 8 a.m. London Open. So even if this happened like in the latter part of the week, I would not have taken it. The reason is huge wick and we have a momentum shift or an aggressive retrace, however you want to call it. Major warning signs. So a huge wick and an aggressive retrace, it's no trade for me personally. Then what happened? Well, we basically had another opportunity to enter right here. There was an ascending structure that just broke into the liquidity right here. As you can see, ascending into the liquidity and then a reversal to a downside, and I would say it was a strong reversal setup, but I did not have an order on because I did not want to get tagged in by a momentum shift like this. So if I had an order on, a candle would need to print all the way back to the upside and it would show me a big shift. The size of the candle would be much bigger than the impulse candles and would definitely show momentum to the upside. So I stayed out of this one also. It would have been a 1% loss. So it's good that I followed my plan on this one. But it was a good trade, I would say, overall. So if we got like an ascending to the entry area, I would most likely have taken it. These ascendings into liquidity areas, because we know there is a range inside of this impulse and we know that traders are selling the top, buying the bottom, keeping their stops above the major highs and the major lows. So these areas are full of liquidity, and when you ascend into them, we do expect the price to reverse in the opposite direction, as we got an indication here. So yeah, just that warning sign kept me out. And then we broke the high retrace, again. Now I'm seeing range bound price action in this general area. What I'm looking for is I'm looking for a large impulse up, flag or a break and they retest, or I'm looking for a large impulse down, again a flag or a break and they retest of the low. I think we can move on. Nothing more to say about EU, EJ. Well, there were a couple of interesting setups that happened, and they all happened right here. So prior price action, let's talk about the prior price action. Well, what I was seeing in the prior price action, I was seeing actually a V reversal, a range, push up, push down, another V. So another V reversal here and another range. So I was actually expecting this to push up, which we did get right here, because we first had this V and we had this sort of a range. Then we had this V reversal and we had this range, basically expecting the price to continue to the upside. So price did continue, and at this point I was waiting for a nice strong break like this with a clean close in order to enter in on a buying trade. Why? Well, because prior price action is high probability to continue trending up. So what happened then? Pullback, next candle breaks, not enough of a break, prints a wick. So this to me is not enough of a break. Price then breaks again, prints another wick and prints a red candle. Again, break, but barely breaks the prior candle's wick. Next one. So at no point did I have an order on the inside bar for this particular trade, because at the top I was just seeing breaking and leaving wicks. On the lower time frames, which we don't look at, I only look at the 1 hour time frame, but this to me indicates that on the lower time frames this is happening. Basically we are ascending, struggling to break the prior candle's highs on, let's say, the 5-minute or the 15-minute. So this is a major warning sign again to me, and I did not want to have an order on. I wanted to see what will happen. If some traders had an order on, they would get taken in by this candle and they would currently be in some really nice profit. At this point, at first this did fit my plan. for a break and retest. So I did have an order on, but then I went through my checklist and I saw I'm not 100% confident because this break was kind of not enough. So this candle by itself was not bigger than the prior candles. Thus, it's not showing me a momentum shift to the upside. I wanted to see a bit of a bigger break, something like this, in order to have an order on here. So yeah, this was just barely not enough for me. I did like the clean close, and also there was no inside bar. From my backtesting, I found usually any setup on the Euro Japanese yen is even better if there is an inside bar for an entry. In this case, there was no inside bar. So that was another reason I was kind of more skeptical. So basically, to me, this was an 8 out of 10 setup. And I only take 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 setups. So by going through the checklist, I found that this actually does not fit my plan. And I quickly removed the order. So I usually place an order quickly because sometimes price can just tag you in and go up in a matter of seconds. So yeah, to execute my checklist, to go through the checklist, it takes 2-3 minutes. So I usually place the order first and then ask the questions later, because I found it's much better to get tagged in if the price just tags you in and starts flying than to miss out. So if I think personally it's a good trade, I place the order and then I go through the checklist to see if it's either worth taking or not worth taking. So I either remove the order or I get taken in and price flies in the opposite direction, or I close it for break even. So that's how I do it. And then what happened? Price continued going up. Basically now we have a really nice impulse up. Do I have an order on right now at this level? I do not. Why? Well, because first there is a large wick on the top. Second, price would need to engulf 2 candles. So that's 2 warning signs for me. If this was just 1 candle, I would have an order on here. But because these are 2 candles and the move down would engulf the 2 candles, it no longer fits my plan. And as I said, this large wick is a concern. So I'm being more patient. What I want to see is possibly a flag here. Possibly a descent to my entry area. Yeah, so basically, okay, now it's breaking the high. I'm looking for a flag here, or I'm looking for a break and a retest further up, something like this. This is looking really, really good. I mean, we have 2 V reversals and then ranges. So first one is right here, second one is right here. And now we have a established trend. Basically, we have a push up, pull back, no shift, push up, pull back, no shift, push up again. So this is super ultra high probability to continue trending to the upside. Okay, then Aussie US dollar. For this one, it's looking range bound. To be honest, I'm not seeing anything. This move had a bit of potential by itself. This move right here, but then we got an aggressive retrace. As you can see, the blue candle ate up whole 2 candles, meaning a big momentum shift, and that's not something I want to be seeing. So for this particular pair, I'm looking for a large impulse up, a flag or a break and a retest, or I'm looking for a large impulse down, a flag or a break and a retest. So I'm looking for more momentum, and you can see overall this pair is just very, very flat inside of this larger range bound structure. So another warning sign, and another thing we need to pay attention to. We can move on. AU ain't showing me any sort of potential. AJ, was there a trade on AJ? Was there a trade opportunity? For me, there was not. I did see a V reversal and a range, after which I did expect the price to go up, but I saw no potential entry, didn't have an order on anywhere. Actually, I'm lying. There was one potential entry here. First, there was a potential entry for after this nice impulse up for a break and a retest of this inside bar, which I didn't have an order on. Why? Well, because I was starting to see a bit of a shift going down. I was starting to see too much selling pressure, so I did not want to take that sort of a setup. Then we had a flag form, but the flag also I saw selling pressure and a momentum shift inside of this leg right here. So the flag would be first high, first low, second high, second low. But as I said, selling pressure inside of this leg here. Didn't want to take a flag that had selling pressure and also that was as big as almost the whole impulse. So basically the impulse is from this point to this point, and you can see the flag is kind of maybe even the same size as the impulse. It's definitely a big flag, which usually doesn't work out. So I didn't want to take it. Price is now continuing to go up. Again, if it continues, I will look to buy, but I need to see a large momentum after this momentum shift in the prior pullback. So let's see if we will get some large momentum. Price can also reverse. If it does, I'll look for a V, range, push down, look to sell on a flag or on a break and a retest. To be honest, this one is not on my radar. I'm mostly looking at Euro Japanese yen and I'm looking at the New Zealand Japanese yen. So those are my two pairs on my watch list. The rest of the pairs are kind of still not good enough to pique my interest. The pound, you can see the pound is basically ascending. And yeah, I'm not seeing what I want to be seeing on this pair either. It's just breaking the highs, retracing, breaking the highs, retracing all the way. Especially on the pound, we need to see a large impulse. So let's wait for that large impulse. Let's wait for a nice push down, a flag or a break and a retest. Or let's wait for a nice, large, strong push up, flag or break and a retest. I do expect the price to move down. Why? Well, because there is an ascending structure. So because of this ascending channel, I'm expecting the price to reverse in the opposite direction. That is what usually happens in the markets. Because the sellers keep selling, the retail traders keep selling these stops and they get stopped out each time the market makers or the big players push the markets and fill up their positions by taking out liquidity in each of these areas. So that's why none of these moves really have any sort of big momentum in them, because they are just stop hunts and they are taking out the liquidity. That would be it for the pound. Finally, we move on to NJ, which is interesting. There was a flag setup on it, and did I take it? I did not. It's now moving in some really nice profit. So let me run through the trade. But I was seeing definitely a V reversal here. Then I was seeing this sort of a ascending start, range, ascending, something like that, something in between, not a range, but not a clear ascending. Price then continues to the upside and gets a really nice impulse. So after this formation, I am expecting the price to go up. That is true. And this impulse is really strong. There is some really good, strong momentum in this impulse right here. You can see nice, strong blue candles and even not a big wick on the top, a okay wick. But what happened then is I saw selling pressure. I saw selling pressure that I did not want to take the trade anymore. Basically, first candle, second candle looks okay right now. It looks really good. But then we start to get some selling pressure, then another red candle. So definitely at this point I'm seeing a potential V reversal form and a potential aggressive retrace. So something I do not want to see, especially on the Japanese pairs. And then we get the flag formation right here, which is also, if you just look at the size of it, it's kind of big in comparison to the impulse. It is kind of as big as the half of the impulse. So for me personally, yes, this was descending inside of the flag. Again, I saw momentum starting to shift here and I did not want to risk it. But if anyone is in the trade, it would be running in some really nice profits. So definitely a good sign that we're getting this impulse, and I will just look to get in further up. I'll look to get in on a nice flag or a nice continuation, a nice break and a retest if this continues trending to the upside. So let's see if it continues trending up. I'm definitely seeing some really strong momentum going up, so that is a good sign. Price can also reverse. If it does, I'll just look for a large impulse down, then kind of all of the price action is negated and I need to look for whole new setups. So my bias is for this to continue going up. If it does, I will look to buy. As I said, on my watch list is EJ. You can see heavily trending, and NJ. It's looking okay. I like this impulse. So that's what I'm looking at. that will be it for the trade recap and forecast. See you guys next week. And good luck with your trading. Keep following the plan. That's it. See you guys in the next video.